So it does finish 4-1. Comfortable. It was a comfortable performance. I mean, second half, we didn't really, we kind of looked a bit disjointed. We looked like we just took our foot off the gas a bit. But ultimately, when you score four goals away from home, it's just you take your foot off the gas. It's not like there was that much danger. The game was essentially won in the first half, so it's not one of those games where you have to try to pick too much wrong with the performance, or you try to find things to complain about. I mean, yes, there's always going to be certain things you want to see be better, like the control in the second half, especially after they scored that one goal. It felt like we lost a bit of control in that game, but other than that, I think we did well. We kept it pushing from minute one till 90 minutes. I think we kept it really professional. Um, Made it a bit uncomfortable for ourselves in the second half. But again, this game was done, and with how we saw the performance today, when we go to Stamford Bridge next week, home support, knowing that you don't lose this game, you're going to a European final. I mean, whether it's the Conference League, Europa League, none of these guys, bar Cole Palmer's ever been there. Potentially Enzo Fernandez, winning the World Cup, Copa America. So they have somewhat of an experience, and a taste for winning. But this should be something that all these guys are looking at and going, we have an opportunity to win something. All these teams that have a winning culture, it started from them winning, you know, FA Cup or Carling Cup. You got to cultivate that habit. You got to cultivate that culture of, having expectations. So get into the final, potentially winning it should be the goal. Not even potentially, hell, going to the final and winning that should be the goal. And on today's evidence, we have a very good chance of being the champions of the Conference League. But starting 11, Jorgensen in goal. Said Josh right back, Cucurella left back. It was Tosin, Badiashile defense, James, Dewsbury Hall midfield, Enzo Fernandez, and then you had Sancho, Noni, and Tyreek George. And that was it was an okay team. Not the strongest team you could, put out, but not the weakest either, because you have some really good players in this game. And, Djurgården, they started the game off really confidently. I mean, they're playing at home, so they're buoyed by their fans. They want to, they want to show off a little bit. They started off the game really well, but once Sancho scored that goal and Noni scored the second, you knew this tie was already done. Noni should have scored more. I think we should have scored a bit more. We had opportunities in this game to really score 5, 6, potentially 7, but we did it. It is what it is, but second half, you get another 2 goals. And we'll talk about, Jackson's second goal in isolation in a bit. But I just thought I thought it was a professional performance. Like, we came in, handled business, and we kept it moving. We made it a bit uncomfortable, especially after they scored their goal. We made it very uncomfortable, but it's just, I think we already knew this tie was wrapped up. Lapses of concentration, some of these guys not focusing enough. It's just, it happens. You know what I mean? They get the goal. They're trying to push for a second. They're trying to make it uncomfortable. But it is what it is, man. 4-1. We should know, you come back to Stamford Bridge. We win in that. It should really, really be comfortable. Cole Palmer today, uninspiring again. And that chance where he just took way too many touches, it's just like the commentator said, Cole Palmer from a few months ago takes that ball down and just finds one at the bottom corners, finesses that. I don't know what's happening to the guy, but with these big games coming up, Liverpool, Newcastle, Forest, I'm going to need Cole to step it up. I think we all need him to step it up. Somehow Jackson has found a way to shoot with instinct. And even his goal over the weekend, was it Everton? His goal against Everton. It just seemed like a very instinctive strike from a striker. And that's something we've criticized Jackson for. We've criticized him for not having the instinct to be able to just shoot, lace the ball, whatever it is. But that second goal today was just, it was pure magic. That touch to fake the shot and that left foot just, it was a good finish. It was a finish of someone who's confident. 3 goals in your last 2 games. I mean, that would do it to you, and this is what we expect from him for the rest of the coming games. And then we see who else comes in to replaces him, or potentially challenge him for the position of the number 9. But Jackson's goal was good. You got Sancho also scoring. Noni is in double digits goals and assists this season. Look, it's not the worst. It's not the best either. But for Noni to have 11 goals in all comps, maybe next season he could push it to 15, potentially 16. Can Jackson push his tally to like 16, 17 next season? Can Sancho give you, I don't know, 10 goals, 5 assists or 6 assists? Like, you want to be able to get goals from everybody, and this is the only way we're going to be able to like challenge for anything, win anything. But winning 4-1 today, look, I think once we go back to England for that second half, I think it's done, and that should be motivation for these guys, because besides Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, who really has an experience of winning something big? Palmer won the treble with Man City. Enzo won the World Cup and the Copa America with Argentina. So all these guys have to take this as an opportunity. Like, this is an opportunity to win something, cultivate a winning culture at the club. Like, these guys are young. If they're able to get their hands on silverware, you can only build from that. You look at some of the best managers, Mourinho, Pep, they all started, their historic, seasons winning something small. Even though this is just Conference League, it's still a European Cup. It's still recognized. It's still a final. It's still an accolade. It's a medal you can have. And all these dudes, they need to be able to go into that second leg and even in that final and go, yo, we winning this. Because genuinely, we should be walking this competition. We should not be losing to Real Betis, Fiorentina, none of these guys. This trophy should be coming back to England at the end of the season. So I think we did the job. First half, second half, we killed it. I'm looking at our defenders. I think they did okay. Tosin, it didn't do too bad. Badiashile kept the role simple. Cucurella simple. Josh simple. Midfield, Dewsbury Hall is just a very interesting one, because there's times he just looks like he's going to break out of like that shell. And then in the same breath, he's going to do something that makes you go, bro, how are you even a professional? Like, it's infuriating. Like, it's too up and down, and mostly down. Like, he has opportunities to just play the right weight of the pass to somebody, and then he just punches that shit into them. It's weird, man. Dewsbury Hall, I don't know. Like, this guy should honestly be sold at the end of the season. Enzo, 18, 19 goals and assists this season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's not a bad return. He has really stepped it up massively this season. It's nice to see him just getting the accolades and, being appreciated as a footballer. He stepped it up massively this season. And our wingers, look, next season, hopefully they can give us some better numbers. But when it comes to today's performance, I think it was professional. I think it was clinical. That's as good as it could get for a first leg of a European, competition, a semifinal. This is as good as it can get. Good job to Maresca for making these changes to impact the game. And also seeing the young kid come on and even almost scoring with his first touch. It would have been a lovely touch to the game, and to see him, his family celebrating a goal. But at the end of the day, performance was good. We did what we needed to do. And then we'll take it over to the weekend. Hopefully Liverpool do us a solid and we don't lose, because Forest lost today. And with the way it's looking, if I'm not mistaken, if either United or Spurs win the Europa League, aren't they bumping us out? If I'm not mistaken, unless all 6 teams still go into the Champions League, but it's looking like fifth is not even safe anymore. So we need to be fourth, and we can be fourth, but we just have a tougher run to the end of the season. So we'll see how it goes. But guys, like the video, sub to the channel, support your boy. Hop in the comments, let me know how you felt about this game. Till next time, peace.